Alright guys, today I'm actually going to work on Dad's car because yesterday was his birthday. So I'm going to do a little something to his car for his birthday. It's coming up next. So, as I mentioned in the intro, Dad's had a birthday. He's a year older. So, it was yesterday. And, you know, I got him this car and I was like, well, that does him for a birthday and Christmas, which it does. But I wanted to do something for his birthday, so we're going to fix him dinner. And I'm going to go ahead and put the only parts I've got in right now, I'm waiting on some other parts for his car. But I do have the shocks here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the shocks on it. Now, I'm still not going to use my lift because I still ain't fixed this bolt. And also, it's actually easier to do these shocks on the front, on the ground, where I've got a floor jack I can put under it to raise the shock up and down. Back too. So I'm going to do those on the ground. Now, I mentioned I've got a whole herd of parts coming in for it. I've got a new master cylinder, new fuel filter, some gauges, like actual mechanical gauges. I actually got two sets of those, one put in my car, one put in this one, so I can get rid of them electric ones that doesn't work worth a dime. And I've got him some other stuff, like I've got him a 268 cam here we got, but that's probably not going to go in anytime soon because we're just trying to get it where we can drive it around right now. And I don't want to pull this engine apart until then. This will probably be, both these engines are going to be much later in the process. But I've got a few other parts. We've got a brake issue with it I need to figure out. It's doing the same thing actually that mine was doing, but I don't see any leaks on it. But it could be the cylinders or something like that. I don't know when I take the wheels off here in a little bit. But it's doing the same thing like mine was when I changed the master cylinder. It would just, you'd be sitting on the brake and it just light come on and go out of the floor and you don't know why. So probably a master cylinder. We got one on the way. Brake booster, we was going to change it too. Can't find a brake booster for this car. There's none in stock nowhere. So if the master cylinder doesn't fix it, it needs a brake booster. We're either going to have to find a place that rebuilds them, or we're going to have to retrofit something from another General Motors car and maybe make it work. I'm not sure yet. But right now we're just going to go ahead and get the shocks on for the channel. And I think that'll make Dad happy to have his new shocks on. I got a high performance set. We get the lift in here. I'm going to take the back control arms and weld those too. So, I mean, we got a lot of projects coming up on this car. Besides fixing the roof and painting it. Just got to get to it, you know. Alright, so now I'm going to bust the wheels off this one. Got this side up in the air. Alright, this is kind of the same process as the ones on my car. These are set up pretty similar. If you can see back in there, same thing as my car. It's a nut with a jam nut. And then the shock one bolt from the top. And then there's 2 bolts that hold it on the bottom here, and the shock drops out. Exactly the same setup as my 72. A little bit bigger car, but very similar. General Motors made these cars. The 71 B bodies are made just almost exactly like. Let me say that right. The 71 through 76 B bodies actually are bigger versions of the A body, as you can see here, but very similar setups. Now, in 77, when General Motors sized down the B body, they actually used the exact same frame as this 76 and 77 Regal does. General Motors made a bigger car, but put it on a smaller frame. And they ran it till they quit. But so if you're needing something for a 73 through 77 A body, just be forewarned, anything from a 77 up to 90, probably up to 96 even, B body will fit them. So if you're needing a sway bar or a rear end or something like that, or vice versa, they will work. Now, I'm not sure if you can see right there, but it's kind of dark in here. I'm trying to get some light on it, but right back in there, there's a stop nut and another nut. So they end up being 9/16. I was thinking they were 5/8, but they're 9/16. So what I'm doing is taking that stop nut off now. And it's off. We'll let that fall on the ground. And then I'll take that one off. And then we'll look at the bottom here and see what we need to do about getting it out. There. Be nice you could just do power tools on everything. Y'all ever used to watch Country Tonight with Ralph Emery? Yeah, I did too. What was that little puppet name? Shotgun Red? Yep. Laugh like you had asthma. I think that's why I liked him. I had asthma. And they're a little better than the ones that were on my car. They still junk. Alright, so got KYB gas adjust going on it. I gotta say these on my car, and I really like them. They made the car just perfectly handling up. New magnet, but perfectly handle up. And I actually got mine. They had like 50 miles or 100 miles. The guy put them on an Electra and didn't like them. So I got mine used, and I actually ended up paying about the same for these because they had a special on them. And we got a $50 rebate, so those should make the car drive well much better. Like I said, we've also got I gotta get the end links and the bushings, but I've got I'm pretty sure it'll work. It's a bigger sway bar for the front, and I know I've got one that'll fit the back. The one from the front's actually off a Camaro, and I think they use the same sway bar these years, so I'll double check it, but I know the back one's better. If not, we'll just replace the bushings on this one and paint it nice and neat. But let's get this one put on. Made in Japan. Alright, I got a nut on it just enough to hold it. I don't have the bushing and stuff. Gonna go ahead and put the bottom in first. And then once I get the bottom in, I can just go tighten the nuts up on the top. So let's put the bottom in first. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my jack and just jack the shock up easy, because these are kind of a bear to push up by yourself. And once I get one bolt in, it'll hold both sides. So go ahead. That's pretty much on it. Tighten that up. Then we'll put the other side on, tighten it up, and we can tighten the top up. There we go. That's about where it needs to be. I believe I can lower the jack now. Alright, I'm going to lower the jack. Hopefully it won't jump out. It didn't. That's exactly what I needed. There we go. Yeah, I'm out of breath. I'm fat. Alright, bottom's done. Now we just got to put it in the top. With the bushing. Bushing and a nut. Alright. Alright. As you saw before, the other bushing was on the bottom with this washer like that. Well, this one sits on top and they sandwich with two nuts. Sandwich sounds good right about now. I believe that's good. Tighten the jam nut down. There we go. All right, after a long process, it's in there. So we can put this wheel on and put this side down. And that's that. We'll do the other side the same way on the front. And we might look into the back today too. I don't know if we're gonna get it done today. All right, now we need to bust off this back wheel, and then we'll get done the back ones too. We got some monster tires on the back of this car. We're gonna switch them as soon as we can. All right, that right there. Now these are a little different than my 72 as well. All right. So I got some more light under here, but these are exactly the same as my car. I don't know if the bolts are the same, but they're the same design, except the shocks turn this way instead of this way. So there's that one. Washer. All right, we'll get a pry bar and we'll pry this off, and then we take the top two loose. There, that one's off. Okay, I got it out. Now to do it, it was a little contortionist act. This was actually harder than it was on my 72. Had bolts on the top. I think my 72 had captured bolts. I can't remember now. It's been so long since I've done it. But you don't have much room under this car either way. I had to put a wrench on top. Now the one on the inside I had to do on the inside. The one on the outside I had to do out here. And then take my electric ratchet. Thank God I have that. Otherwise I'd really been working my butt off out here. I'm pretty sure the KYBs are slotted here, so they'll slide up on the bolts. So you don't have to, it's a little easier on you. This one, these were a little better, but still, I shouldn't be able to crush them that easy. And look, they're not rebounding at all. So that one's garbage too. So yeah, I had to take my shirt off. It's catching my arm. So we'll put the other one in, and then the other side's the same process. I'm not going to show you doing the other side because you've seen one, you've seen them all. But we'll get this done, the other side done, and Dad's car will be ready for the night. Now KYB gives you all new hardware, including the piece that goes back into the suspension to the rear end. I'm not going to change this. This is not hurting the old one. There's no sense in putting changing this out. I am going to use the new bolts though. So they don't give you the top bolts though, however. They just give you the bottoms. Now them backings are a job to get to the top. There is no easy way to go about it. You have to be basically a contortionist to get up there. Hey, it'd be nice if I had a lift, wouldn't it? You know, I got one. But my concrete sucks. So, we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, shock is on. That's a very, very complicated job, not gonna lie. Probably would be easier if I had a lift, and that's what I'm talking about. We've got a lift here, but I am just scared of this concrete. The way it drilled so easy, the way it chips so easy. So I'm having my buddy come in. I'm actually gonna message him here in a little bit. He's an actual contractor. He's going to cut out and put about 1 foot deep 2 squares in here with rebar and run all thread all the way up and epoxy all thread into the ground. So these guys will never move. I can still take them up and move the arms around if I need to. The only difference is I'll have some all thread sticking up out of the ground, which I don't care about. I'm not going to drive over that. We'll put a bolt on it if we need to. But I just do not trust this, and I do not want to. You know, when I was a younger fella, wouldn't have cared. It's not really I'm worried about myself, but I've got a 2-year-old to think of and a 16-year-old, and I want to be around for them to grow up. So I don't want to die under a car. Both these wheels back on. Now these wheels are just temporary. You follow me on Instagram stuff, you'll notice I got Dad a new set for Christmas. I hope I had a pretty sharp car when I'm done. So the wheels are in really good shape, and they're kind of a rare wheel. So probably sell them or save them back. I doubt we'll ever save them back because we never reuse them. Keep these cars till they die. So we'll probably sell these wheels, and these tires that's on them are junk. And you can see they're dry rotted and there's split places in them. So we're changing to 17s and stuff like that. We put all new lug nuts on it. There's one other thing this car needs. Now we are going to have to pull the back window out of this, so I might end up having to replace this sticker. But for now, this is going in here. And there we go. Okay, guys. That's got the shocks on Dad's car. We do got some brake stuff coming for it. I'm gonna go ahead and replace the wheel cylinders. They're looking pretty bad on the back. We got a new master cylinder because it's not stopping good. I don't know what's going on with it. Back reservoir is pretty low, so either the back wheel cylinders are gone or the master cylinder's leaking. I'm not sure. I don't think it's the booster. But we've got that coming for it. So we got that coming for it, and the new tires and wheels will be on it. And then we're going to look at getting the rust and stuff like that, and maybe new exhaust. We're going to try to have that done so he can drive it around here real soon. Then we're going to look at, you know, all the performance stuff that we've got sitting here in boxes waiting on it too after warm weather here. But we want to get it where we can drive it to some car shows like my car together. So we'll get at that next week. We should have the parts in. Appreciate you guys watching. As you didn't notice, I've actually got some beanies out now too, with the merch, along with the sweatshirts and the t-shirts and the hats and the stickers and just patches. I can make you work shirts too. Put a patch on a work shirt for you. I'll take those in advance because I'm having to order those work shirts as they come. They're not real. I have to order them from a company and they take a little bit to get here and everything. So I'll take pre-orders on them if you're interested in one. Till then, we're up to 233 subscribers. Last video did awesome, 200 views on it already. Just thanks for checking me out. Thanks for watching me. I appreciate it. I love everybody that subscribes and pays attention to me and all that stuff. Not for that reason, but I just appreciate it all. I don't do this just for the fame and glory. I do all this for my passion with these cars, and hopefully turn it into something I can take care of my family with for it. So it's not about just making money. It's not about just being famous. It's got a meaning behind it. So I appreciate you guys that actually take time to notice me and everything. Just keep liking, sharing, and subscribing, and don't forget, rig something up.